Welcome to episode 3 of Convos in the Park. This time we'll be talking about relationships. Now, a lot of people may think I may not have the kind of expert advice to be giving on relationships, but if people out there listening to a man that's been through 3 marriages, then I think I might have a little bit to say. And with that said, let's get started. Relationships are one of the things that can make a person complete. Also, on the other hand, it can be the main thing that can tear a person down, make them feel bad about themselves. Now, when it comes to relationships, it's usually two people coming together, usually with two totally different upbringings, coming together through one mutual attraction or a bond. That attraction can be physical, it can be the way that, someone thinks. It can be the potential that you see in them that others may not see. But whatever it is, it drew you to that person and y'all come together to make things work. Eventually for love, and hopefully the end goal is marriage. Now, for that relationship to work, the key thing that you will need is communication. Now, communication for some can be very difficult. Me, for example, I'm more of a thinker. I usually, think about certain things, and it may be hard sometimes for me to express, what I may be thinking. That kind of brought down what I had going on, and currently me and my wife are separated. But we're still the best of friends because we had communication from the beginning. Now, the main thing you need to keep in mind is that, the person that you're with, they're not your warden. They're not someone that you have to keep a constant eye on, as long as the communication is there as far as like where you're going or certain things like that. Now, you shouldn't be stepping out of bounds on anything, but then again, that's another topic we'll cover later on in the episode. So what can be some of the main things to do about communication? Constantly talking on a day-to-day basis, via, a lot of people nowadays, it's all text messages, DMs, Facebook messages, what have you. But nothing beats the one-to-one conversation that you have with a person right in front of their face. Now, with that being said, one thing that can harm a relationship is attachments to the phones. Now, I know, smartphones came in and it brought a new thing, a new way of mass communication, now with text messaging, Snapchats, Twitter accounts, and everything else. But at some point, you have to put the phone down and actually have conversations with that person. Now, maybe, you may want to check something here and there, but it shouldn't constantly be attached to your arm and you forget about the person that you're with. Which brings me to my next thing. Spending time with that other person. Now, spending time means more than just Netflix and chill. There's got to be more to it than that. Now, one thing that can hinder spending time can be your work schedule, can be other activities. Now, as men, we all like to have our little outside things. We all like to kick it with the boys. Girls like to kick it with the ladies. Have a little girls' time out, or the guys' night out. But you should not neglect your significant other. At no point should you do that if you want to continue to be in a relationship, a working relationship. Now, work schedules can get in the way. For example, my schedule is pretty hectic between work. I serve in the National Guard, between that and also, going to school at night. It got a little hectic. And one of the things I did let fall to the wayside was spending quality time. Whether it be, just sitting watching movies or actually, taking your significant other out. That way they're not in the house all the time. That plays a huge part in a relationship. Now, you have those that like to go out all the time, but in the end, there has to be a balance. There's nothing wrong with stepping out every now and again, but there's also nothing wrong with staying at home, watching movies together, laughing and joking with each other. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that probably builds the biggest bond in a relationship. Now, as far as where you go to spend time, that all depends. I mean, you're not gonna get probably the best quality time, I'd say, going out to a club. Yeah, you can party and dance and everything, but a lot of that you're gonna have to deal with. If you're a dude, you're gonna have to deal with, especially if your lady's looking good, which she should. You're gonna have to deal with other dudes looking at your chick, and if you're secure with that, then cool. But if you're not, then one of the main things that harm relationships, jealousy, comes into play. And you definitely don't want that, especially if you're trying to grow a relationship. Now, as far as commitment goes, and one thing I'm about to harp on a little bit is cheating. Now, a lot of people see cheating many different ways. Some people say, if you're kissing someone else, then, you cross the line as cheating. Cheating can also be if you're sending someone risky pics that they really shouldn't be seeing. That's also cheating. The way I see it, plain and simple, anything that draws you away from the person that you're dealing with in some form or fashion, whether it be through conversations, or pictures or what have you, if it's not the significant other that you're dealing with and, talking to on a constant basis, other than your friends. Now, don't get me wrong, you can have your friends that you talk to on a constant basis, but even then, you shouldn't be talking to them more than the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. Now, if you got someone else that's stepping in and kind of crossing those boundaries, then that is definitely cheating, regardless. You can call it flirting if you want to, but even the smallest amount of flirting can lead to cheating. And that should be a no-go. Now back to commitment. I feel that one of the things that you really should do, and I know I should have probably covered this first, but the main thing you need to do as soon as you can think that you're getting ready to be in a relationship with someone is set all the boundaries, set all the rules. The worst thing you can do is step into a relationship and not knowing what your boundaries are or what the other person may or may not like that may cause friction. I need to set those ground rules from the beginning, whether it be, they don't like, having too many male friends or too many female friends or what have you. Those rules need to be set in order for y'all to work things out. Now, as far as, friends of the other sex, I honestly don't think there's nothing wrong with it as long as the person that you're seeing has met your female friends or male friends or what have you. If they met them and the vibe, they don't see any kind of strange vibe going on between the relationship that y'all have, then cool. But if for some reason there may be a little tension, the best thing you need to do is, once they met and then you have a talk with them and they let you know how they feel, relay that information to your friend, no matter how hard or what kind of way that they may take it. If you are really going to deal with this person for the long term and you want to have that relationship continue to work, then your friends also have to understand where they play a role as far as in your life and in regards to that relationship. Key thing, bottom line, I think that situation can cause so many problems. Now, for some reason you have a friend of the opposite sex that you don't want them to meet, then 9 times out of 10, it's probably the wrong kind of standing that you have with that person, and you may see them as a potential suitor for later on down the line. If something may go wrong, then you should probably just stop talking to them altogether until you're done with that relationship, or don't even have the relationship altogether. If you already have your mindset that that person could be the someone that you want to be with, then just end it. You'll save a lot of time in the long run for you and the person that you're dealing with. Now, I know I only touched on a few topics and a few things that can go in a relationship. That's just my advice, about certain things that go in a relationship. Now, if you feel some type of way, that's what the conversation is for. Leave your comments on the comment section on YouTube. Post your comments on Facebook. Email me at Convos in the Park. Leave your comments on Twitter. Let's continue the conversation. Let's keep it going. Now, with that being said, that ends it for episode 3, relationships. This is Dorian for Convos in the Park, and I'll catch y'all later. And as always, are you in the convo yet? Why not?